The original Digimon World is probably one of the greatest games of all time when it comes to nostalgia, and I'm sure many of you agree on this. I spent weeks, months and years grinding that game, and despite its high difficulty, I have very happy memories of it. Speaking of high difficulty, I actually never managed to truly 100% this game. And by 100%ing, I mean collecting every single medal. If you achieve certain things in this game, you will be awarded one of these medals. And I gotta be honest with you, it kinda bothers me that I never actually managed to collect all of these medals. But hey, I'm an adult, I can make my own decisions, right? So why not give it a go and for old time's sake, try to truly 100% this game? And that's exactly what I intended to do. And since so many of you are in love with this game just like me, I decided to go for all medals live on stream. And let me tell you this, it has been quite the journey. So please let me welcome you to how easily can you get all medals in Digimon World? This playthrough was done on a non-modded Digimon World USA ROM. I deliberately did not add any patches or modifications, because I want this grind to feel like I'm back to my 10-year-old self, just playing the game and trying to achieve things. So here we are with our first Digimon partner, the Agumon called Chippy. After grabbing some early game items, we made our way to the Green Gym. We want to make sure that our Chippy is ready for some early boss battles. Achieving 100 prosperity points will be awarded with a medal, so we will obviously have to collect every single Digimon. The first battle against Agumon actually went pretty well, and if I remember correctly, we even learned Sonic Jab from that. Learning all techniques will also be awarded with a medal, so we will be grinding for them later on. But the more techniques we learn through story battles, the less we will have to grind for them later on. So after getting Agumon to join the city, we went straight for Kunemon to battle and recruit him as well. Since the time was right for Silamon to spawn, we also made our way to the beach to meet him there. Due to a broken bridge up north, it is impossible to cross the river. So Silamon decides to help us get across. And we land in a new area called Tropical Jungle. At this point, Silamon does not join the city yet, so we'll have to come back later to collect him. But first, we're going straight to a Digimon that is very important to recruit early on. Not just because he's super cute, but also because he opens a shop in the city. This is probably the easiest recruit since you just have to talk to Betamon and he'll join the city. After that, we're trying to make our way through Amida Forest to try and collect Centauromon. We even managed to solve the puzzle first try, but unfortunately there were no items on the way. But hey, that's okay. Centauromon joins the city and we can make our way to the ancient Dino region. But we're U-turning the heck out of there because we're not ready for that fight yet. Instead, we're going to Overdell Cemetery so we can recruit Bakemon. That's also quite easy since you just have to pick the right answers, which are yes, yes, no. Following that, we decided to go back to Silamon to talk to him again. He's going to help Betamon in the city's shop. However, I always wondered why he swims south when the city is up north. Maybe he took a trip around the island before joining, who knows. Next up is Drill Tunnel. The Dromogemon in there is complaining about the unbearable heat, so he's quite aggressive and challenges us to a fight. Despite him being a champion level, this fight is actually quite easy, so we managed to beat him very fast. Then we're talking to the Dromogemon who's digging a tunnel in the eastern part of the cave. We will have to come back here later on. Next, we decided to make our meat farm a little bit bigger. In order to do so, you just have to head to the southern part of Native Forest and beat Palmon. Palmon is now running the meat farm, and as a result, we get 3 pieces of giant meat each day. Now here comes the funny part. My first intention was actually to just wait a few days until Dromogemon is done digging, but you guys suggested that if I truly want this to be a casual run, I would have to go and do the drill tunnel minigame and carry some dirt. So that's what we did. Once this was done, we went back to the city to do a few more training sessions with our Agumon. You're probably wondering what my first champion level will be. Well, here it is.
So just need the day of cartoon soda and pizza. Trust me, if he becomes a Greymon, he's gonna be the happiest mon ever. He's gonna beat that depression. Yes!
I specifically decided to go for a Greymon here, because as a child, I always had trouble digivolving my Digimon into him. I would always get Tyrannomon or Centauromon or, well, let's be honest, sometimes even Numemon. But here we are, with our fresh Greymon ready to conquer the world. We're now finishing up the final bits of the Drill Tunnel minigame, and then we're making our way to the ancient Dino region. Greymon is finally strong enough to beat up that Tyrannomon. Currently, Greymon still only has access to Spitfire, But to be honest, I don't really mind. Spitfire is very fast and it interrupts a lot of your opponent's moves and sometimes even finishers. True, the fights might take a bit longer though, but simply charge your own finisher and it should be fine. After beating Tyrannomon, we're making our way to the Speedy Time region so we can fight Meteormon. This fight is already a little bit harder as he has quite the powerful techniques. However, we managed to beat him, which will then allow us to recruit Tyrannomon for the city. However, we're not done here quite yet. We're heading back to the screen where we just fought Meteormon. And surprise, surprise, look who's there. Well, the protagonist doesn't really know who this guy is, and he doesn't have a clue who we are either. So he decides to run and wait, he dropped something. This dimensional keychain will make our bag bigger, so we can carry more items. If you're playing this game, I suggest you trying to get a hold of this very early in your run. That way you won't have to discard any items because of a full bag. We're almost done in the Dino region, but we're doing one more little thing. There's a vending machine that gives you certain items at random when you insert 200 bits. We're looking for a specific item here. My RNG was actually quite bad here, so it took us a few tries. But then we finally got what we wanted. Yes, I was aiming for this moldy meat. We're gonna need it later on. But for now, we're done here. Bye bye Dino Digimon. The tunnel that Dromogomon was digging is now accessible, so we're making our way there. If you want to progress from here, you will need a champion level Digimon or higher to move that big boulder. And since we have a Greymon, that's no problem at all. Deeper inside, we are attacked by Meramon, and this fight is relatively easy, so we managed to beat him quite fast. And now you know why we got the bag extension before this fight. You will find a lot of items in the lava cave, so it's quite handy to have the bigger bag. Thankfully, we managed to learn Dynamite Kick, so one less technique to worry about. After Meramon joined the city, the path to Mount Panorama is finally accessible. It's important to have Centauromon in the city already, as this Unimon is only gonna spawn when the clinic is open. He's injured, so you will have to give him any sort of healing item. Funnily enough, as a child I thought you could only give him a band-aid or medicine, but you can just give him a small recovery to save some money. After that, he will make his way to the city and open a bigger shop. After passing through Mount Panorama, we finally arrive in the Gear Savannah. We're walking up the eastern path first. There's a Patamon which is being harassed by a Goblimon, but thankfully Leomon is there to save the day. We can't do anything with Leomon yet, so we decide to head further north. There's another Patamon, or well, maybe it's the same? I'm not quite sure. But he wants beef, and he wants to fight you 3 times in a row. So after doing that, he'll finally join the city and also join the shop. Going west from here and we'll encounter Elecmon. Just talk to him 3 times and he'll join the city. But be careful, you're gonna take some damage from the electric shocks. We're now going down the western path of Gear Savannah and we find a cool card shop at the coast. Here we are presented with our very first Digimon card. It's actually a card of the main character. And you probably might have guessed it, you need to collect all cards in order to get one of these medals. So something tells me we might have to come back here later. But for now, we're just buying a Hercules Kabuterimon card because, well, why not? After that, we managed to catch Biomon first try, and she also moves to the city. Heading north of Gear Savannah, we are entering a rather stinky place. This is Trash Mountain, and here we will find our first fishing rod. We will have to fish a lot later on, since you need to catch 100 fish in order to get a medal. But for now, we're just talking to the Sukamon here, and one of them also joins the city. Oh, and by the way, the best training spot for MP is actually that big pile of poop over there. Leaving Trash Mountain, we're heading further north and entering the Gecko Swamp. There we encounter a Otamamon, which is, well, not that nice to us. After he insulted us, we're beating him up and, well, his brethren take us to their king. Thankfully, they're not mad at us, and Shogun Gekomon actually grants us the ability to navigate through the Misty Trees. Oh, by the way, bonus question. If you figure out the real-life loudspeaker brand that is hinted at in this game, I'll give you a cookie. Shogun Gekomon is gonna come in handy later on, since we can trade in our Digimon cards for merit points. And with these merit points, we can then buy a few useful items. Next stop, Misty Trees. Making our way through the forests, we finally encounter Cherrymon. By the way, this is the superior design of Cherrymon. I don't care what anybody says. He'll drop some lore about what happened on File Island many years ago and then lets us pass. But we don't want to go past Cherrymon quite yet. Instead, we're heading east to Friesland. There's a Garurumon waiting for us, but it's quite a tough fight, so I don't think we're ready for that yet. Do you guys remember the moldy meat that we got from the vending machine early on? Now is finally the time to use it. Come here with a Digimon that does not like the cold, like Greymon or Agumon, or simply with any baby Digimon. You can just walk around and wait until the Digimon get sick, but you can just speed it up by feeding them the moldy meat. Walking around some more and our Chippy unfortunately collapses. We're then rescued by Frigimon, who is scolding the protagonist for not properly taking care of their Digimon. We will have to come back here later with another Digimon that doesn't mind the cold. In the eastern part of Friesland, we are encountering a Penguinmon. This guy has quite the obsession, and it's called Digimon curling. Yay, another minigame! This minigame was the reason why I never managed to get all medals as a kid. In order to get the Digimon curling medal, you have to score a clean 10 points. And this proves to be quite difficult. But for now, we're just trying to beat up Penguinmon so he joins the city. We'll worry about the 10 points later on. We beat him first try and now making our way to the next one. We're fighting some Mojamon sitting around and it turns out they're actually traders. In order to recruit them, you have to trade each of their items at least once. We don't have the items yet, so we will come back later. However, we're talking to the bottom left Mojamon, and this is actually where you can make a lot of money. Just trade all your medium recoveries for the super defense discs, go back to the city and sell them. And then do that thing over and over again. That'll be the strategy to get the medal for maximum amount of bits. We're not doing this quite yet, but I wanted to have some more money, so we traded all the recoveries that we had. Now that we have multiple Digimon running the shop in the city, the card vending machine pops up. Here you can pull cards at random and each pull costs 100 bits. Unfortunately, the rarest cards only have a 1% chance of spawning. But in order to get a hold of all of the cards, we will have to just go for it. I didn't want to spend all my money here, so we just did a few pulls and then went on. Next, we're talking to Digimon so we can trigger the Greymon fight. And now it's time for the second mirror match of this run. This fight was actually not that easy, but we finally managed to defeat him by kicking him between the legs. Greymon joins and opens the arena, which we will have to visit a lot later on. In the meantime, a strange plant has started to grow in the tropical jungle, but we can't do anything with it yet. Well, maybe later. I kinda got tired of Spitfire and Dynamite Kick, so I decided to go to Great Canyon and fight a few of these Sant Yanmamon to potentially learn Spinning Shot. It's actually not that easy to learn it with a Greymon since his main specialty is fire. But only after the second Sant Yanmamon we already learned Spinning Shot. And with this powerful move, the next few boss fights will definitely be a breeze. We managed to beat Birdramon and he joins the city to open up a sky taxi. This will make navigating around the island way easier. We also got super lucky and learned Prominence Beam from Birdramon. And what's even funnier, we then went to fight Ogremon for the first time and we learned Magma Bomb from that fight. So 3 fights in a row and 3 techniques learned. That's quite lucky. Unfortunately, we will have to fight this Ogremon 3 more times later on. We decide to go for the second fight right after the first one, so we pay him a little visit in his Ogre Fortress. I'm playing the NTSC version by the way, so no Palbug. If you would like to know how to beat the Palbug that prevents you from entering this fortress, just check the link in the description. It will lead you to a nice little video about this. The second fight was super easy. Ogremon is down for a second time, but he decides to run again. Using that elevator triggers a mechanism that will trap a Shellmon. So we're gonna have to go around and reverse that mechanism so we can recruit Shellmon. Shellmon will start a newspaper in the city, which will then trigger a few more Digimon that we can recruit. Since we have a vaccine-type Digimon, I thought why not go to the Ice Sanctuary and try to recruit Angemon. With our powerful moves, it shouldn't be that hard. And it wasn't. After the boss fight, we managed to recruit Angemon. Then we decided to go back to Drill Tunnel as enough time has passed for the tunnel to be fully opened. And that means that Dromogomon will finally join the city. I wasn't so sure where I should head next. And then I thought, hey, there is one more minigame that I would really like to get out of the way as fast as I can. So we decided to go to Monocromon's shop and try our luck. I was already preparing to do this over and over again until we finally get lucky. I was especially convinced that we would have to repeat this a lot, since so many Digimon just left the shop without buying anything. I already had lost hope, but then suddenly every Digimon wanted to buy medicine, and we somehow managed to beat this minigame first try.
Another medicine? Oh man. 330. 360, come on. Bro, it's over. I got too greedy. This stupid RNG, man. No, get the hell out of here, Weedmon. This has to be a joke. has to be a joke. Now here comes the Goblimon again with the medicine, bro. Look at him. He takes it. We can still win this if we get another medicine. Dude, we can still win this. Come on, 11. Okay, regular. We still got a chance. What is this seed, bro? Huh. Yo, he comes again. We did it. What? How did we do it?
We got so lucky. And I'm so glad this is over. Monochromon will then join the city and help the other Digimon in the shop. After that, I thought, hey, why not go for ultimate level with our first Digimon? So I looked up the requirements to get a Skullgreymon, and we went ahead and fought a lot. Since you only need to meet 3 requirements, you don't necessarily have to have good stats in order to get a good ultimate. I specifically decided to fight Shima Unimon in Gear Savannah. Firstly, to rack up our battle count for the evolution, but also to maybe learn Megalospark from them. But unfortunately, we didn't learn anything. But instead, our Greymon finally digivolved into a Skullgreymon. Everyone say hi to Chippy the Skullgreymon. One downside to this is, our best move is now Dynamite Kick, again. But that's okay, we're gonna get better techniques later on. Since we already have quite a few cards, I decided to go to Shogun Gekomon and trade in some of them. I aimed for 300 merit points, so we can finally acquire the Amazing Rod. We're gonna need this to catch Seadramon later on. I know you can catch him with the old rod, but I just wanted to have an easier time. And this is not a speed run, it's a casual run, so why not go for the Amazing Rod? You will notice here that Shogun Gekomon offers quite a few Digivolution items as well. We're definitely coming back here later on. These items will come in handy when we want to get yet another medal. You also may have noticed that I didn't give Shogun Gekomon all of my cards. I kept at least one of each of the unique cards, so we don't have to worry about pulling them again later on. Next, we're going back to Misty Trees to fight Gabumon. Since Skullgreymon specializes in battle techniques, I thought, well, maybe we learned something. And we actually did, but, well, it's just Warcry. One of the worst buffing techniques in the game. But hey, I'll take what I can get. Gabumon joins the city, and we're making our way to Dragon Eye Lake. You have to be there at a specific time for Seadramon to spawn. And he puts up quite the fight, but in the end, we're the winners. Talking to Seadramon, he'll present you with 3 options. We're going for the first option, which is Become Friends. By the way, this will also give you 2 prosperity points, despite Seadramon not necessarily moving to the city. After awarding us with his blue flute, he will carry us over to the other side of the lake. And we're finally in Beetle Land. Here we can talk to Kuwagamon and Kabuterimon, and they'll both join the city. Recruiting them early is also important since they will improve our training devices. After doing all that, I decided to take a little breather and do some regular fishing. That way we can also slowly work our way towards that medal. After we were done fishing, I looked at the time and I thought, well, Seadramon spawns again, why not catch him again? If you catch him again, you can choose one of the other options he presents you with. And we decided to learn a technique from Seadramon. And there, we learned Aqua Magic, just like that. At this point, I also realized that we now have a Virus-type Digimon, which means we can finally enter Greylord's Mansion. So that's exactly where we went. We also fought some Rockmon in Greylord's Mansion, hoping that we will learn Ice Statue from them. But the chances are very low since Ice is not his first specialty. Then we went on to rescue Myotismon, and we were done with the first part of the mansion. At this point, the 15th day of the year has already passed, so we were managed to get a hold of the Rain Plant. With this Rain Plant, we can then trigger Vegemon, and he will once again improve the meat farm, giving us Sirloin. Sirloin is one of the best food items to have in Digimon World, as it reduces your Digimon's tiredness and additionally gives you a happiness boost. After recruiting so many Digimon, I thought, hey, why not try and learn a few more techniques to make fights easier? So we decided to beat up some Gotsumon and we learned Megaton Punch, a better alternative to Dynamite Kick. And then I tested my luck again and we went to Friesland to fight some Ice Devimon, in hopes that we would learn Ice Statue. And I'm telling you guys, this took me a while, but here we go. Ice Statue learned. Ice statue is probably the best attacking move in the game. It does not have the highest attack power, but it has a very decent stunning rate and it comes out super fast. So this will allow you to interrupt most of your opponent's attacks. With Ice Statue in our bag, Chippy is virtually untouchable. By now, we have quite the formidable amount of techniques learned. Since we're already in Friesland, we decided to go to Frigimon and show him that our Greymon digivolved. Skull Greymon actually doesn't mind the cold, and Frigimon is convinced. He joins the city to work in the restaurant. With the powerful Ice Statue, we decided to fight Garurumon, and our Chippy made short work of him. Coming back the next day, we defeated him in the rematch as well, and then he finally joined the city. We then waited till the early morning to go to Misty Trees and fight Kokatorimon. After beating him, he also joins the city. Making our way back to Friesland, we encounter Waymon by the coast. He says that some mean guys kicked him out of his beach cave, so he asks us for help. Those mean guys turn out to be Ogremon and his crew, but this time he has a strong bodyguard by his side, Warusidramon. But not even a Warusidramon can save Ogremon from defeat. Skull Greymon makes short work of them too. Ogremon admits defeat and says he'll join the Wait, we got debated. Unfortunately, he escaped again. But at least we managed to get Waymon's beach cave back, so he decides to join the city. Having Waymon grants us access to Factorial Town. But before we go there, we decided to get our very first medal. We went back to Domojamon to trade the medium recovery disc for super defense discs. We repeated this cycle until we finally reached the max amount of bits. And here's our very first medal of the run. Now we're striking rich. What to do with all of that? We are investing a big chunk of it in cards. We managed to pull all obtainable Digimon cards, but we still don't have a medal, because we're technically missing one. The final card cannot be purchased, but we will receive it once we beat the final boss. So once that's done, we'll get the medal for all Digimon cards. Then we made our way to Drill Tunnel, where we encountered Ogremon for a fourth time. This proves to be the final battle, and Ogremon finally decides to join the city. We're getting closer and closer to max prosperity. But there's actually another medal that takes quite a while to get. And this has something to do with the arena. There's actually a bunch of medals that you can get through the arena. The most tedious one to obtain, I would say, is the one that requires you to win 100 championships. But hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? So we decided to do our first tournament of the run. And as you can see here, our Chippy makes short work of his opponents, winning his first championship. After reading Shelmon's newspaper, we decided to go to Mount Panorama to encounter Vaidmon. But then, something very tragic happened on the way.
No! He's dying already? No! I thought he was pretty young. Oh my god, all my plans! My plans! We just went to go Vaidmon. He was just bones, kinda expected. He was like, what, 14?
Passing of our very first partner Chippy has definitely left a mark, and he'll be greatly missed. But it's now on our new partner Chappa to carry on Chippy's legacy. We made sure to train Chappa as well as we could, so he can be a worthy successor of Chippy. Oh, and by the way, we recruited Leomon in the meantime, but he doesn't really do anything in the city. And then there's the recruitment of Ninjamon as well, which I somehow didn't find the footage, but it's okay. Ninjamon's in the city, just imagine him. And then he finally evolved into his rookie form, Elikmon. With this, we can definitely obtain an amazing champion level Digimon. We even went to Beetleland to train his attack stat to be over 600. And then he finally digivolves.
Of course, when it has to poop, it evolves. That has to be a sign, guys. Numemon. Yes, we got him. Yay, Nume hype.
And then he is born. The warrior of all warriors. The king of all kings. The fearless fecal fighter, Numemon. Okay, jokes aside, you all probably know where I'm going with this, but it's still funny to have a Numemon only in our second generation of Digimon, right? Unfortunately, turning your Digimon into a Numemon will result in a 20% permanent stat loss. but we still have more than 500 offense, so it could be worse, right? You would think I'm headed straight for Toy Town to turn Numemon into Monzaemon, but since we have one of the rare Filth-type Digimon, I decided to try and learn a couple techniques. So we went to Green Gym to train some intelligence, and voila, he learned Odor Spray. This is a way better alternative to Horizontal Kick, which is pretty much the worst move in the game. And now you wonder, why would I want to get a good move with Numemon? Do you plan on fighting with him? Well, actually, yeah. We're going to Trash Mountain to challenge the Jeremon to learn another poop technique from him. And thankfully, after a few fights, we learned Poop Speed Toss, which is, in my opinion, one of the strongest Filth techniques, as it's super fast and even has a chance of poisoning the enemy. But now I think it's time to digivolve our Numemon into Monzaemon. Making our way to Misty Trees, we're stopping by Shogun Gekomon to trade in some of our cards to get some merit points. With these merit points, I decided to buy all the evolution items that he has to offer. We'll be storing these in the item bank, but we will be needing them later on. With the remaining merit points, I bought the stat chips that we're gonna be needing later on to get maximum stats, which will also result in a medal. Now that that's out of the way, we finally enter Toy Town, and Numemon sees this nice bear costume, and it fits perfectly. Numemon digivolves into the ultimate Monzaemon. With this powerful teddy bear, we are now allowed to enter the Toy Mansion. Here we encounter the mischievous Warumonzaemon, who has kidnapped one of the Tinmon's friends. After we beat him, he gives back the friend, and it turns out to be Hagurumon. Bringing Hagurumon to the Robo House triggers another massive lore drop, and after that, Monzaemon's stuffed toy joins the city. We're not quite done in Toy Town yet though. We have to go back to the mansion to meet Nanimon once more. After finding Nanimon in 5 different places, he finally joins the city, even though it's not prompted on the screen. But what's even better is, the last time you encounter him, he will drop another bag extension, which allows you to carry even more items. Next up, we can finally go find Vaidmon, which we were not able to do with our cheapie. And we are finally able to recruit him. Since we were already at Mount Panorama, I thought, hey, let's try and trigger Mamamon. There's only a small chance to spawn Mamamon on this very screen, but we managed to do it after a couple tries. After a tough battle, we managed to beat Mamamon, and he joins the city. Since this was going quite well, we thought, hey, let's try and beat up another ultimate level. So we went to find Etemon at his house. He sneak attacks us, but Chappa doesn't really care and beats him up. Etemon also joins the city. When Etemon tried to open up a harem in the city, Digimon decided to kick him out. He now chills outside the city and sells us the evolution item for Etemon. As we still have a lot of money left, we decided to buy that item to use it later on. Next up, we went to Tropical Jungle to try and trigger Piximon. Just like Mamamon, there's only a small chance that it'll spawn, but we got it after a few tries as well. The Piximon fight is definitely one of the hardest battles in the game. I made the mistake of not buying the protection item, which will prevent any status effects throughout the entire battle. So if you do have access to that item before this fight, I'd recommend buying it and using it. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. But we do manage to defeat Piximon, and he also joins the city. Then we decided to gather all the items that are needed to recruit Mojiamon. You want to make sure that you don't recruit the Mojiamon that allows you to farm money. So I would advise you to recruit the Mojiamon that sits in the middle, as the items that he gives you are quite useless. In order to recruit that Mojiamon, you have to have completed all the other trades, and then do your final trade with this very one. And he joins the city. Now that we have over 50 prosperity points and we talk to Digimon, we are viciously attacked by Erdramon, who seems to be under the influence of somebody. After beating up Erdramon, he collapses. And after that, we can enter the final dungeon, Mount Infinity. But we're not doing that yet. Oh, and by the way, we learned Megalospark from the Erdramon fight, which was super lucky. It's such a good move. With this, Monzaemon is gonna be unstoppable. On top of that, we also learned Counter by brain training. That's why we decided to go for some more tournaments. We enter an A-grade cup and we actually encounter Warumonzaemon again. Huh, I guess he wants a rematch. But we beat him up anyway. Although, as you can see, this was quite the close one. He blocked so many of our moves. And after beating that Unimon in the finals, Monzaemon won his first championship as well. Good job, Chappa! After that tournament win, we decided to go to the secret beach cave to pick up another Digivolution item. The Misty Egg, which will allow us to turn our champion level Digimon into a Digitamamon. Then we tried to learn some more techniques by brain training and, well, we learned Electric Cloud. Oh, and also, my tamer level went down after Monzaemon pooping on the floor. The chances of that happening are so incredibly low. I guess my RNG luck in this run is just off the charts. in, well, both ways. Next, we're checking tournaments with Greymon again, and there's one of the special cups that Monzaemon can participate in, the Grapple Cup. All these special cups that require you to have specific Digimon also need to be completed in order to get their respective medals. So the Grapple Cup will just be the first step towards achieving that. And you can guess who we fought in that tournament as well. The salty Waru Monzaemon, who just couldn't take those 2 losses. He just had to challenge us again. But Choppa defeated him again, this time even more convincingly. One could say that fight was perfect. Then we were fighting a Hyogamon and J-Mojamon, which actually put up a fight. But in the end, we managed to win our very first special cup. We obtained a Spike Club, which will come in handy later on. We can turn our rookie level Digimon into an Ogremon, which will help fill up the Digichart. We then decided to do another tournament, and I'm gonna let you guys guess which Digimon we had to fight again. Waru Monzaemon, asking for his 3rd rematch, got beaten up again. What a sore loser he is. After so much success, we decided to try and learn some more techniques. So I checked which battle technique we yet have to learn, and it's actually Tremor. So we went to Mount Infinity to fight some of these Vermillimon. They use that move quite often, and since Monzaemon's first specialty is battle, we learned it first try. You just gotta be careful when fighting Vermillimon since they actually have access to a finisher. And with that, we finally learned all battle techniques. But we still have a long way to go. Next, I decided to learn a move from Monzaemon's 2nd specialty. Since we were already in Mount Infinity, we went ahead to fight some of the Pidomon. And after a few tries, we actually learned Confused Storm from them. We didn't have that much to do with Choppa anymore, so we decided to just train until he passes away. It's time for our 3rd generation. Everyone say hello to Yippee! The Poyamon digivolves into Tokomon, and we decided to turn our Tokomon into a Paramon. In the meantime, we made sure that Dremogamon goes out on treasure hunts regularly, as there is a small chance that he can find 3 different Digivolution items, which will help us later on. After a bit of training, our Paramon digivolved into Angimon. Since Angimon's first specialty is air, we decided to learn some more techniques. We learned Hurricane from Sand Yanmamon, as well as Wind Cutter from Yanmamon. That means we only have 1 more air technique left to learn. Now you might be thinking, hey, why is that guy storing all of his items in the bank? Well, if you have an Angimon, there's actually a chance that you can turn that one into a Devimon. And that also happens to be the only way to get Devimon naturally. And by naturally, I mean without using an evolution item. Angimon's discipline has to be very low. You know it's enough when you have that blue-faced icon at the bottom. Then you have to make sure that Angimon loses a battle, and then there's a 50% chance that the evolution to Devimon will trigger right after the battle. And since you lose items in battle if you have more than 3 in your bag, we decided to just deposit all of our items. And after our 2nd try, we managed to digivolve our Angimon into Devimon. This means we get 1 additional Digimon for our Digichart with 1 generation. We tried to test our Devimon's strength by letting it participate in one of the hardest cups ever, the Great D Cup for rookies. Well, okay, it's the easiest one, but hey, we have to get 100 championship wins anyway. After that, we decided to get the final air technique, Thunder Justice, which also happens to be the most powerful air technique. You can learn them from Soulmon in Greylord's Mansion, and since Devimon is a virus-type Digimon anyway, we decided to go there straight away. This took quite a while since Thunder Justice isn't exactly easy to learn as it has a low percentage, but we managed to succeed, and with that we have all air techniques available. With all of that success, we tried to participate in some more tournament battles. But as you see here, not all attempts will always turn out great. We got quite beaten up by this Cedarmon right here. And, well, you can just get super unlucky in these tournament battles. Sometimes you just get cheesed with status effects, or Digimon might stunlock you, or poison you, or block all your moves. It just happens. Another issue is you cannot heal your Digimon's HP or MP. So if you're using powerful moves, you also have to mind your MP. And the amount of MP that Devimon had at that time was definitely not enough. So we decided to go to Trash Mountain to train MP some more. Oh, and in the meantime, I also managed to fulfill 3 requirements for an ultimate evolution. So you're about to see what we got next.
Wow, we came here for nothing. Well, we can continue our training at least. Digivolve! Yes, we got it.
We have the mighty Megadramon, which is probably the best ultimate in the game. Hey, and even our tamer level went up. Nice. Well, high tamer level isn't actually that nice if you think about it, because it doesn't even give you a medal when you reach the max tamer level. All it does is raise the stats of your newborn baby, and that's it. But back to Megadramon, why is he so strong? Well, he has access to Ice Statue and also the best buffing technique in the game, Full Potential. We don't have that move yet, but there is a slight chance that we could learn it from a Digimon that we can already encounter. So we decide to do part 2 of Greylord's Mansion. After reading Shelmon's newspaper, part 2 can be triggered, and you can encounter Devimon in the mansion. After that, the mysterious locked door on the bottom right of the mansion is now open. Enter that and you will have access to the secret lab. In there is a one-time boss fight with a Tekamon. And this Tekamon happens to have some mech techniques. The best one being Full Potential. I didn't really expect to learn it from him. I would have been happy if we just learned any mech technique at all. But we went ahead and actually learned Full Potential from him first try. And with this, our Megadramon is now unstoppable. I mean, just look how he beats up that Skullgreymon. After beating Skullgreymon, we can then talk to Meodismon and he's finally saved. He then makes sure that Skullgreymon moves to the arena, which basically counts like a recruitment for the city. Next, we're finally entering Factorial Town with the help of Waemon. We're trying to trigger Metal Mamamon just like we did with Piximon and Mamamon. But instead, we encounter Metal Greymon? That's a tiny Metal Greymon, I gotta say. Well, jokes aside, it's just a mistranslation, but hey, it's funny every single time. This fight was quite easy with Megadramon, and look how lucky we are. We learned another mech technique, namely Pulse Laser. Next, we decided to go for a harder tournament in which we encountered a Piximon. I'm always scared to fight Piximon, I'm telling you guys. But here's something happened that has never happened to me ever before in this game. And you can believe me, I played this game a lot. If you deal the exact amount of damage that your opponent deals to you in a tournament, there will be a draw. And as you can see, we got it. That in and of itself is quite the achievement, but well, it's nothing to celebrate because the game makes you lose the tournament if you have a draw. But it definitely made for a funny moment for sure.
No, I wanted to avoid this. What? It's a draw? I've never had that. Huh? We lose? What the hell just happened? I never had that before.
Next, we're continuing our way through Factorial Town. Something is wrong with the sewer, and the Digimon in there seem to be sick. So we go ahead and talk to Andromon and try to get access to the factory. On our way, we're fighting a Guardromon, which then makes us learn the technique Power Crane. We manage to enter the factory by outsmarting the guards, and we find a crazed Giromon in there. Giromon turns out to be a very strong Digimon, but thanks to our Ice Statue, we can interrupt almost all of his move attempts. And as a reward, we also learn Delete Program. That's 4 fights in a row with 4 techniques learned. We just got super lucky. I wanted to continue to ride on that wave of luck, so we went up north inside the factory to find a few more Guardromon. These Guardromon actually know the move All Range Beam, which usually is used by Machine Dramon. And it took us literally 1 try to learn that move as well.
Hey, we learned All Range Beam first try. Hey, this game is rigged or something. It's the vanilla version, and we keep learning.
Oh, and fun fact, by the way, the Guardromon that is on the top left actually uses the move Full Potential. So if you don't learn it from Tekamon or a Machine Dramon fight, you can try and learn it from this guy. I think we're pretty much speedrunning learning mech techniques, since there's only 2 left to learn. We then talk to Andromon, he apologizes and turns off the waste management system. The sewers are back to normal and we are being challenged by the strongest Digimon in the game. After an epic back and forth tough battle, he finally managed to beat Numemon and he joins the city. I'm glad he's back to his normal self.
I'm tired. That's my favorite line in the game. He sounds dumber. Maybe he regained his senses. Basically, the player admitting that if he sounds really dumb, that he's in his normal state. He sounds dumber. Maybe he regained his senses. Are you calling me dumb? How rude. If you're not dumb, then what are you? This dialogue is too good.
After recovering from these fights, we're waiting for a day to go back to Factorial Town to then recruit Andromon and Giromon. And then we're pretty much set to finally climb Mount Infinity. At first, we're destroying Devimon in a, well, not so hard boss battle actually. Next up, we went up to Megadramon, and this time, for the first time in this run, I actually tried to save before a fight for the sake of learning a technique. Since this is pretty much the only way you can learn Digi Dimension without brain training, we decided to get it directly from Megadramon. And after repeatedly trying to learn that move from him, in the end we finally did.
No, I'm not talking about the back dimension, I'm talking about the final room. In Shadow Mansion. Yes, we got it! We got it! Let's go!
We now have the move with the highest attack power in the game. That leaves one more mech tech left to learn. Next, I noticed that our stats were high enough for us to go to this Kabuterimon in Beetleland. He teaches us the best earth technique, Bug. We can't use it yet, but it'll definitely come in handy later. We then go on to do some more brain training to learn the final mech technique Reverse Prog, and ta-da! We now have all mech techniques learned. We're going back to Mount Infinity to then meet Metal Greymon. An actual Metal Greymon. He's quite a strong opponent, but with our Ice Statue full potential combo, he is no match for us. After beating Metal Greymon, we go straight for the final boss, Machine Dramon.
Machine Draymon.
Machine Draymon.
Machine Draymon.
Machine Draymon.
But even the final boss proves to be no problem whatsoever with that killer moveset that we have.
Digimon, yeah, it doesn't. It also doesn't have guts. Whoa, we got him. Easy peasy. What was that with Ultimate versus Mega? Huh? Ultimate?
We managed to beat him and complete the game for the first time. But I promise guys, this is far from over. Analog Man disappears into oblivion, File City is saved, and we're going back to the human world. Until we're brought back by our little friend Mamimon. Digimon is calling again. Analog Man is back again? He is. Or at least Digimon thinks so. So we have to come back. And we meet up with our partner Yippee once more. For beating the game, we are rewarded with a medal. And if you remember, I told you that we have all the cards except one, the
Machine Draymon
card, which we obtained just now by beating him. So that means we get yet another medal, putting the counter to 3. Since Analog Man might be back, we're eager to try and find him again. Well, in reality, I'm actually doing this to get some more stat chips, which we can obtain by entering the back dimension. The back dimension will spawn in one of the 3 possible places: Ogre Fortress, Ice Sanctuary, or Greylord's Mansion. This time it spawned in Ogre Fortress, and for future spawns that happen after 21 days upon beating Machine Dramon, you wanna be lucky and have it spawn in Ogre Fortress again, since that will reset all the item PCs in the dungeon. For now we're just making our way through, collecting all the items, also the ray gun, which is the evolution item for Vaidmon, as well as some stat chips. Then we are encountering
Machine Draymon.
once again. He now uses full potential instead of Megaton Punch, which makes him significantly stronger. But he proves to be no threat to our Mega Dramon, so we beat him again. Turns out this was just Analog Man's curse and not an actual
Machine Draymon.
Also, short recommendation on my part. If you want this lore to be fully explored, you should go play Digimon World Next Order, which is basically the sequel to this game. After defeating
Machine Draymon.
for the second time, Digimon awards us with a chain melon, which is basically the best food item in the game. It increases happiness, lowers tiredness, and most importantly, extends your Digimon's life by 20 hours. Little did I know that we would be using this item very soon after receiving it. Because after finishing the Machine Dramon fight, we thought, hey, let's just go for maximum stats and get that medal out of the way. So we went ahead and fed all of our stat chips to our Mega Dramon. I didn't have enough stat chips to get to maximum stats, so some more training was required. Unfortunately, just before reaching maximum stats, our Yippee passed away. But here's where I thought, damn, all those stat chips for nothing, they're gone, we don't have the medal. I can't let that slide. So I restarted the game and started over from the last save, which was when Megadramon was asleep. Now I thought, how can we get to maximum stats in just a few hours? That's when I decided to feed the chain melon to my Megadramon. But even that wasn't quite enough. So we tried again. And this time around, we came so close to the maximum stats that it would have just required 1 more hour of training. But Yippee thought otherwise and said, I'm done. I'm out of here. But I said, no, you are not done. So I tried once more, and this time I had a better plan. We bought some more cards and then made our way to Shogun Gekomon to buy a few more stat chips. And this time, it would finally work. Just before Chippy had passed away, we got to maximum stats. And with that, we receive our 4th medal. To celebrate that, we did another tournament, and then, finally, Yippee was laid to rest. And well deserved, might I say. But this adventure is far from over. Our new baby is born and we are naming it Pog. Pog proceeds to turn into a Maramon. We decided to go for Maramon so we could learn a few more fire techniques. So we went ahead to learn Red Inferno from the Vermilion on Mount Infinity. And then we went ahead to do some more tournaments. But, well, this happened.
What? What? You gotta be freaking kidding me!
Unfortunately, fire techniques aren't as strong as they sound. So we thought, okay, let's get rid of this Maramon, digivolve it into something useful. And here is Andromon, also one of the stronger ultimate levels in the game. With Andromon, we decided to climb Mount Infinity once more to recruit the final Digimon for the city. This Digitamamon puts up a tough fight, but is no match for our Andromon, and then we get our next medal as we complete 100 prosperity points. With that, we now have 5 medals in our possession. But that is just the beginning. Now we gotta make specific plans and see which of our Digimon can participate in which special cup. Luckily, I could do the Mech Cup with my Andromon, so we got this out of the way fairly quickly. After winning grade D, C, B and A, you can then enter grade S, which is definitely a tough challenge. This is probably the hardest cup to complete, and we tried our luck with Andromon, and as you can see, those battles, whew, at multiple points we almost lost, but Andromon pulled through, and well, he proved why his name is Pog. So we won the S grade, and that's luckily out of the way now. With this, we won all grade cups and we get our 6th medal. It's time for Pog to rest and give the torch to our new partner. My plan for this generation was to actually obtain a Dremogamon and then do a special evolution to Monochromon, so we can have 2 different champion levels within just 1 generation. But unfortunately, when raising my Gabumon, I screwed up and it turned, well, into Monochromon.
But according to my calculations, it should be a good. Pentamon will be the most OP rookie because it gets bug. Yeah, you just need enough MP to pull it off. What? No! Why not Dremogamon?
But that's alright, because Monochromon can turn into an ultimate level Digimon that we have yet to obtain. Metal Greymon. As a kid, I was ecstatic when I got my first Metal Greymon. I thought, oh my god, it's the strongest Digimon. It's so cool, it's so good. It has fire techniques, it has battle techniques, it has all mech techniques. Only for me to never get access to any mech techniques and then just using Metal Splinter. And, well, you can see for yourself how bad fire actually is in this game. Those few tournaments were quite frustrating, so I decided to attempt it with a different Digimon. But before we laid our Metal Greymon to rest, I tried to at least learn all the remaining fire techniques. And we actually got lucky and he learned Infinity Burn, or as the game calls it, Infinity Burn, by brain training. And then I thought, man, I can just let this Metal Greymon die without having success in the arena, right? So we were lucky and the Dino Cup was coming up, so I thought, hey, now's your chance to prove yourself, Metal Greymon. And we actually became champion. In the meantime, we also got lucky with Dramogamon, who found a 1% chance item, Torn Tatter, for us, which will digivolve any Digimon on the rookie level into a Bakemon. After riding the wave of success with Metal I thought, hey, he can win some more tournaments now. So we tried to do the version 1 cup. And we also won this one. Good job, Metal By this time we were simply using Meltdown as a technique, even though it costs a lot of MP and it takes a bit to actually hit the opponent. The startup is very hard to interrupt, so we can at least make sure that the opponent will get hit by it. Then it was finally time for our Rob the Metal to pass away and hand over the torch to Snob. As an in-training Digimon, we decided to take Snob to Kunemon's bed, and if it sleeps there, there's a chance it'll turn into Kunemon. On the second attempt it actually worked, and now we have a Kunemon. If you want to have Kabuterimon as a champion level, you need to have Kunemon. So I wanted to get that out of the way as quickly as possible. Also, I had the plan to participate in the Beatles Cup. So I checked if I can make it to the Beatles Cup, which takes place on the 22nd of each year. I only had to plan it out so we have a strong Beetle Digimon by that time. Oh, and by the way, you don't actually have to beat the Beetle Cup to win the Special Cup medal. And strangely enough, the Beetle Cup also doesn't count towards the 100 championship wins, which kinda sucks. And the rewards from the Beetle Cup also suck, but I thought if I truly want to 100% this game, I need to win this cup at least once. So we went ahead to turn Kunemon to Kabuterimon and turn that Kabuterimon to a Hercules Kabuterimon. His default move is Insect Plague, which is basically one of the best moves in the game since it has a very high chance of poisoning the target, and poison being the best status in the game. And if you remember, we already learned Bug from that Kabuterimon with our Megadramon. That means we have a truly powerful combo at hand right away, and we were proving this by beating up Machinedramon once again. Before entering the Beatles Cup, I also wanted to make sure that we learn all the Earth techniques, since Hercules Kabuterimon has access to all of them, and it's actually not that hard to learn most of the moves. We managed to learn 3 moves from those Wheatmon in Great Canyon. And then we go ahead to learn our final Earth technique from the Tentomon in Beetleland before entering the Beetle Cup, which turned out to be quite easy with our overpowered Hercules Kabuterimon. Luckily, just one day after the Beetle Cup, we were able to enter the Earth Cup. And at first I was a bit worried because I saw Piximon, but then you see how Hercules Kabuterimon simply demolishes this Piximon, and winning us the cup. We get the item Fertilizer, which will turn our rookie Digimon into a Vegemon. This item will turn out to be truly legendary. Just keep watching. After Hercules Kabuterimon has done such a wonderful job, it was time for him to rest. And taking over from now on is Boss. And you will find out shortly why I named this specific Digimon Boss. By lowering the discipline and happiness of our rookie level Digimon to 0%, then scolding it, it turns into one of the best, one of the coolest, not quite, one of the most unique champion level Digimon. Nanimon. Why do I want to have a Nanimon right now? Well, the Filth Cup was coming up and I thought, let's use Nanimon since he's the best Filth Digimon to use in that cup. Why is that the case? He has access to moves that are not Filth, so that explains it. Filth is terrible in this game. All of the moves are bad. Well, there are some decent moves, but compared to other techs and types, they're just bad. But he has access to Counter and Megaton Punch, which make things a lot easier. So that was the reason we went for Nanimon, to win the Filth Cup and get this shit, literal shit, out of the way. However, I knew this cup was gonna be hard. I know some of these Digimon will have stats up in the 6,000s to 7,000s, and we only have a champion level Digimon, so we need a few stat boosts. I decided to use our remaining money to spend on Digitamamon's egg. Well, not the eggshell he's living in, I'm talking about his boiled egg. Basically, there's a small chance that Digitamamon will spawn in the restaurant once you've recruited him, and he will sell you egg-based dishes. Just buy the cheapest dish, and you will find that your Digimon will not stop eating Digitamamon's food, which means you can just endlessly feed your Digimon the food and raise your stats that way if you have enough money at hand. However, I wasn't quite satisfied with the stats yet. So we went to find Devimon in his shop and bought some devil chips off of him. Each devil chip that you feed your Digimon has a chance of lowering your tamer level, which I don't really care about, but more importantly, will lower your Digimon's lifespan by 24 hours. So you really gotta be careful when using them. But since Nanimon's only objective was to win the Filth Cup, I thought, well, let's just give him a few steroids. And these Digi-steroids, they sure pack a punch, as you can see here. And then it was finally time for the Filth Cup to commence.
In this tournament, and 3 Numemons. Oh my god, look at this. We're the final Nanimon, huh? Numemon versus Numemon. Who's gonna win? I guess Numemon. Yes, Ding, you're right. Machine Dramon is my favorite Digimon. They would just probably be considered banned substances for competition. Look at him, he's so buff. Nobody checked, they didn't check him before, so it's fine. Oh my god, man. This Numemon is so strong, what the hell? Just use two sweet toss, man. Yes. Hope we can poison him. Ah, damn it. And no one's jacked, right? Nice. Oh, not nice. No, don't. Okay, I think we win. Nice. Okay. Don't spectate the Filth Cup. Hey, that Filth Cup is very suspenseful, I would say. Damage is so low, indeed. You just gotta be lucky and not get poisoned. Yeah, I can MP stall. We just need to interrupt them. Okay, next Numemon. Okay, this one's not so strong. Lucky. Ah, damn it. Maybe I shouldn't have used counter on my moves. Nice, let's go. This is huge because I can counter their moves anyway. Maybe. Okay, he's not that strong. He's just farting. He's just farting in our face. He's just trying to fart on us, man. He just uses the odor spray. Finish him! Nice! He's poisoned, guys. We probably got this. He got countered, bro! Now he counters us. We didn't even use his finisher. Yes, we won the Filth Cup, let's go! Let's go, it's done!
Now this is what a true champion looks like. Good job, boss. The Nanimon. I want to take this opportunity to give a little shout out to a good friend. He played a crucial part in this run as well. Throughout my live streams, he provided me with such useful information on this game that I didn't even know about. His name is Hodina and he also is a YouTuber and also makes Digimon World related videos. Check out his channel in the info box. He also created this super useful arena schedule that we've been using throughout the streams. And I'm telling you guys, this has made planning for winning all the cups 10, 20, a million times easier. So guys, if you made it this far in the video, please leave a comment saying Hodina's cool arena schedule is cool. Also big shoutouts to my man for using that word art. It's incredible. But now it's time to continue with our Nanimonnerimon? What? Boss. Just call him boss. Since we have a decent filth type Digimon, we decided to go to Factorial Town and learn all the remaining filth techniques. This was a tedious task, since some of these fights take forever, especially the Platinum Zugamon ones, as they have way too high HP, plus all the filth techniques just don't really deal any damage. But after a, well, long time, I think it took me a few hours, we finally managed to get a hold of all filth techniques, except for one last technique. The ultimate poop hell. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to learn this technique anymore, so I just decided to get it with a later Digimon. Because my goal was to turn this Nanimon into a Digitamamon without using any Digivolution items. This wasn't quite easy, but we managed to get it done.
Yes! Oh my god, our timing is so perfect. Hiding the meat for himself. We got a Digitamamon in a natural way. Look at that egg.
And here we get the only ultimate level Digimon that has fire as his main specialty. We definitely need that for the upcoming Fire Cup. Unfortunately, Digitamamon also happens to be the worst ultimate, because his animations are so slow. His blocking animation is slow. When he uses moves, he's slow. His get-up animation is slow. It's tedious, guys, and you'll see why. We ran out of MP and we barely managed to win the Fire Cup. And oh my god, we got lucky.
I think a Megalo Spark will be enough. Bam! Got him! We just got super lucky.
Then we went ahead to try a few more tournaments, but let me just say it didn't go so well.
We didn't get KO'd at least.
Oh, and then
This happened.
We're done. Not surviving that. Oh! Okay, okay. Lock it! 2 HP! Come on! Finish him! Finish him! We won't have time. Oh my god! Oh my god! No way! No freaking way!
unfortunately this clutch moment would go without reward as we lost the final battle, but oh my god, what the hell was that? Well, we managed to get yet another loss in the tournament, so I just decided to give up and cool my nerves by fishing a little bit more. And we encountered Cedarmon for a third time, and this time we just asked him to give us evolution item. I still needed to mentally recover from those losses, so we did a little bit more fishing, and I actually managed to catch some Digi Sea Bass, which will come in handy later in case we need to extend our Digimon's lifespan, because each Sea Bass will extend the lifespan by 3 hours, which is quite handy. And then it was finally time for our egg to break. Yeah. Bye-bye. And you know what hatches from the egg, right? So with that, our little Chikon was born. I had great plans for this Digimon, while also minding that our virus gauge is almost full, but I wasn't quite ready to get that one yet. You know what I mean by that one. What I didn't consider was, before sleeping, my Punimon actually had to go poop, and I didn't notice. So he went to sleep, and as he was asleep, the virus gauge imploded.
What? No, that wasn't what I had planned. What? That wasn't the plan? What? What?
1 hour passed. I thought, nice, Punimon digivolves into Tsunomon. But then, well, we got him. But hey, you just gotta see the positives here, right? We have a chance to learn Ultimate Poop Hell. And we did some brain training and learned it decently fast. So, filth techniques, done. I'm so glad that's over. We spent a few days with our Sukamon training him and all, but then I kinda got tired of him, so we decided to pay the king of Sukamon a visit. And we turned our 7-day-old champion level back into a baby, so now we have a 7-day-old Punimon again, which we then turned into an 8-day-old Tsunomon, which then turned into a very old 10-day-old Penguinmon. So then we just decided to get some more champion levels to fill up our Digivolution chart. I wanted to have a Digimon with ice specialty so we can finally win that Cold Cup. And we got a Garurumon which took care of the job. Because, well, ice statue, right? It's just too good. Unfortunately, my Digimon was way too old since, well, we had a Punimon at age 7, right? So, I fed him some life-extending foods and we managed to get this.
Okay. Okay, we did it! We did it! Yes! Hey Rush, welcome in. Oh, you listened to my acapella of Super Mario Bros. Nice, that's so obscure. That's one of my videos that doesn't perform so well, so yeah, I appreciate it. Glad you like it. Oh, you 5 for respect, nice. Yes, we did it, guys. We have Mega Seadramon.
At age 17, we still managed to digivolve our champion level into Mega Seadramon. He won't live for very long, but at least we have another ultimate in our bag. The reason I wanted a Mega Seadramon so desperately was the fact that we only had a few more ice techniques to learn to finally have all techniques and get the next medal. So that's what we did.
Yes, we got it! And with that, we have every technique. Medal. They sent a medal. Who is they? Ta-da! All techniques learned. Yippee!
And with that, we get our 7th medal. And now, the true fun begins. Or should I say, my mental breakdown, my downfall, my demise, the end of it all. I decided, with the few fish that we have, let's just pay this penguin a little visit. Or his little friend, Metal Mamamythra. Let me just say this, didn't go so well. At some point, I asked my wife Carla to help me, and she just took over and played some curling rounds for me because, well, I needed a breather, let's say that. But hey, getting 10 points in curling, that's quite hard, I'm telling you. After some time, I just gave up on it for now. And we completed some more of the special cups that we need for the medals. Since there weren't any more cups to win at this point with Mega Seadramon, I decided to feed him some devil chips to make him pass away. And with that, Charlie was born. Charlie will turn into a Unimon, which is a unicorn. And if you've been on the internet for long enough, then you will know what the reference is here.
Hey, Charlie! Hey, Charlie, wake up!
I wanted to go for a Unimon so we can participate in the Wind Cup, and Unimon has actually not that bad of a moveset. It gets access to Megalospark, and I think Megalospark alone is enough to win tournaments. After completing the Wind Cup, we finally got our 8th medal, the Type Cup medal. Next, we tried our luck with the version 3 Cup. This proved to be quite a challenge, as we had to fight an Andromon, which really took our Unimon to the limit. We even ran out of MP at some point, but thankfully, the final fight was against a Sukamon. It actually was quite close, but Unimon did it. Unimon was actually the perfect Digimon to have at that point in time because there was also the Wings Cup, which you could participate in. So there's 3 different special cups that we can complete with just one Digimon. And if you didn't believe me that Metal Greymon is not that great of a Digimon in this game, just see how Unimon demolishes him.
Oh, what? 3,000? Okay.
Unimon has done a wonderful job with winning all of these tournaments. So now it was time to get to the next stage. We managed to turn it into a Phoenixmon. But since Unimon has already won everything that there is to win, we decided to get rid of it right away. Sorry, Phoenixmon. Don't worry, your time will come later. The name of our next Digimon is dedicated to one of my channel members, the Relinquished. His name is... Cat. I aimed for Betamon and Waymon since we have yet to raise them, and Waymon can also participate in the version 2 Cup, which we also had yet to win. And let me tell you this, Waymon is actually one of the stronger champion levels. He has access to Ice Statue and a Poison type move. Next up was the Animals Cup, which we could also do with Waymon. He even managed to defeat a Monzaemon with Poison and Ice Statue. Now you see how strong that combo truly is. I actually didn't want to turn Waymon into a Mega Seadramon, so this was not intended, but hey, The version 0 Cup was coming up, and that was the only version cup left to win, and Mega Seadramon happened to be able to participate. And with that, we get our 9th medal, the version cup medal. That leaves us with only 6 medals to go. Say hi to our new partner, Lizo! Which we turn, obviously, into Ninjamon, which we then plan to turn into Mamamon, so we can have it remodeled in Factorial Town, but those plans backfired as I somehow screwed up and turned it into Meadow Mamamon. But hey, that's okay. I noticed that Meadow Mamamon doesn't really make a sound when standing around, and if you go fishing and your Digimon is constantly making noise, that can be quite annoying. So I decided to just go fishing and finish that medal as well, since we were quite close to it. Some might think fishing in this game is boring, but it has something relaxing to it, and I'm not exaggerating or anything. It's just calming and I don't know. I think it works like ASMR works for some people. It's just very calming and cozy. After fishing for 100 times, we finally get our 10th medal, 100 fish. We decided to go for some more curling, but to no avail. Lizo passed away and Frankie was born. I decided to go for another Andromon since he was quite a good ultimate and we needed a few more wins for our championship medal. Oh, and by the way, if you enter a D grade or C grade cup with your ultimate level Digimon, there's a very high chance your attainment level will decrease, which I don't care about. We just need the wins. Also, Andromon happens to be a humanoid Digimon, and the only special cup left to win was the Humanoid Cup. And, well, Andromon just destroyed the competition, and there we go, we have our 11th medal, Special Cup. And then I decided I'm going for it. I'm gonna try curling again. And it took me a lot of attempts. And then I got so close. I could taste victory. We got to 9 points. Somehow it must be possible to reach 10. We just need good curling stones. We need a little bit of luck. And we need the power of saving before you get good stones and saves coming. But hey, you can do that with an actual PlayStation, right? So why not? And then after so many attempts, this game went down. Please watch.
I'm not good at this frame perfect shit. That's why I could never be a speedrunner. Especially when it comes to RNG manipulation, when you have to get stuff like that right. Yeah, this is also not optimal, but hey. I'm gonna try and put the claw on the bottom. Let's see what happens. If he lets me. Alright, YOLO. Okay. You're just gonna repeat that. Fine. Another good, but not great. Just good. Now please, would you not screw me over? I'd be very grateful. Thank you. Now what? I feel like I screwed myself over this time again. What do I do? This is a desperation shot. Let's see what he does. I have a chance. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! 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 Did you see that? Yo! You stupid penguin! We got it! Did you see that shot? Oh my god! Oh my god, it's done. We don't have to do it anymore.
And we got our 12th medal, perfect curling. I was so happy that was out of the way, because it was smooth sailing from now on. Next, I just wanted to make some progress with the Digivolution chart, since we had quite a few champions left to obtain, and also some more ultimates. So I did that until we had every single ultimate, feeding Digivolution items to my Digimon, then killing it off with Devil Chips, and repeat. Then I decided to get a Kuwagamon and turn it into a Piximon without Digivolution items, because Piximon is one of the most menacing ultimate Digimons. It is literally so good in tournaments. With its ability to poison and use bug, it's virtually impossible to lose. Just look at the path of destruction this little furball leaves behind. And then there were only 2 ultimate levels left to get. I managed to get a Mojamon and turn it into a Mamimon in a natural way. And then we went to the Factorial Town to talk to this Guardramon who does remodeling. You will have to pay some money and then it will remodel your Mamimon. There's a chance that nothing will happen and then you basically just lost your money. And then there's a high chance that your Mamimon will turn into a Metal Mamimon, which is not what we want since we already had one before. What we do want is the 10% chance to trigger. 10% for what? Well, there's a 10% chance that your Mamimon can turn into a Giromon. And now comes the even better part. This Digivolution actually increases your lifespan and will boost your stats. So, after saving and reloading for a few times, we managed to get our hands on a Giromon. Just look at that stat boost, oh my god. Oh, and by the way, his name is Beaten. Kinda fitting, right? Giromon is one of the stronger ultimates despite having an abysmal, very abysmal finishing maneuver. Oh, and by the way, I was actually stupid enough to do a Digimon World playthrough challenge run where we only used Giromon's finisher to attack and nothing else. Let's say if this video gets to 100 likes, then I will make a video like this for that specific Giromon challenge run, if you guys are interested. The good thing about Giromon is he has access to full potential, Megalo Spark, and Thunder Justice. So you don't really need his finisher when you participate in tournaments. He'll just take care of the competition before the finisher is even required. Also, since we had Phoenixmon for only a few seconds, I kinda felt bad. So the final few tournament wins that we needed to get, I wanted to do with the Phoenixmon. So we decided to turn our fresh Kokatorimon into a Phoenixmon and get some more wins. Unfortunately, this still wasn't enough to get the 100 championship wins, but we're actually so close. And then I decided to get the strongest Digimon in the game. I'm not kidding, it is true. The strongest Digimon in the game to get our 100 championship victories. Why Sealamon? Sealamon has access to Poison Claw and Ice Statue, and it's the only Digimon in the game that can do that. So, we managed to win our 100th championship and we are awarded with our 13th medal 100 times. You might be wondering, wait, you have 14 medals. Yes, we just managed to surpass 10 years in the digital world. And that means we just got 2 medals back to back. So we now also have our 14th medal, 10 years. That leaves us with only 1 more medal left to obtain. Now this final part was actually quite tedious and it requires some setup. First of all, we need a huge chunk of money to buy some more Devil Chips, so we can quickly get rid of our Digimon to get to the next generation. So I got some more money, bought some more Devil Chips, and I also made sure to have all the Digivolution items for the Digimon that we have yet to obtain. Which essentially means I just need to get my Digimon to rookie level, turn it into a champion with my evolution item, kill it off with the Devil Chips, and repeat the process until we're done. And then it was time to get our final, super strong Digimon. The last Digimon that we will raise. The Digimon that is gonna make us proud. The Digimon that is gonna be remembered for years to come. It's Vegemon! And with that, we get our 15th medal, Digimon Master.
It's done! Oh my god. This is the first time in my life I have done this. Literally.
I got a bit emotional in that moment, and it kind of felt surreal because I have played this game for over 20 years, and I finally managed to fulfill my dream. But I decided that our adventure was not over just yet. We had to send off our Vegemon in a perfect manner, in a manner that befits this legendary Digimon. So we decided to buff him up a little bit, find Machine Dramon once again in the back dimension, and have one final battle.
That's it. Nice. GG.
Now I can truly say that I have become a Digimon World addict. I'm obsessed with this game, guys. I don't care. I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play all the mods. I'm gonna play all the challenges. Yeah, I'm obsessed. But hey, I know some of you guys are too. And if you actually made it to this point, then I'm sure you like this game even just a little bit, right? Or maybe you just like to hear me ramble, which I think is more unlikely, but hey. Anyway, this project was definitely very special to me, and it wasn't easy at times, but it was a lot of fun. I'm very glad I did it. I want to thank each and every one of my viewers on YouTube and on Twitch. I want to thank everyone for commenting on my stuff. And also, I want to say thank you specifically to you watching this right now. I appreciate it. You are the reason why I'm doing this. And I can't wait to hear everyone's feedback. Please, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a subscription. It's absolutely for free. But I truly appreciate it. And I can definitely tell you that much, this was not the last Digimon World video on this channel. And with that, keep digivolving, my friends. See you next time.